are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, everybody, into Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the ECR NextGen Series take on the Nashville Super Speedway. For the City Slickler 182, I am Mike Timoni in the booth. Joined with me, as always, is Shane. Shane, man, how's it going?
Going great. Good to be with you on another Saturday night race here on ECR.
Yeah, definitely. Last week, they threw down on Atlanta. I mean, 3 cars finishing less than a tenth of a second for first place. Michael York was able to come out with the win. Tyler Burden in second, and Kane Lee rounded out that top three. They've been here a couple times before. We'll see what this show's going to put on here as they are getting ready to jump into their cars. We'll go down rack side and go through the starting grid. All right, Tristan Bailey got the pole with a 29.439. John Osborne just to his outside. Doug Denise and Michael Carter make up row 2. Row 3, Adam Boughton and Tyler Burden. Dwayne Furtick and Gary Nash make up row 4. Row 5, Bradley Rivers and Sam Batwell. And we got Kane Lee and Jonathan Cogswell rolling off in row number 6, followed by Aaron Miller and Anthony Ludi in row 7. Row 8 is Justin Hendry and Colin Bollinger. Robert Roth and Kent Mueller make up row number 9. Row 10 is Aaron Spear and Ryan McCall. Christopher Roth and Matthew Crago Jr. roll off in row 11. Row 12, Pete Walsh and Stan Carnathan. And Andrew Chapman, if he gets, looks like he's getting in his ride, so he will start shotgun on the field. So that's where we start. Not sure where we're going to finish here as these guys look to put on a show here tonight.
Yeah, this should be a really exciting race. You know, not a lot of banking here at Nashville, so when you need to get a little extra grip, you can lean on that guy on your outside. Hopefully he's willing to press doors with you and keep going. As they always say, 8 tires have more traction than 4.
Yeah, it is one of those tracks with not a whole lot of banking. There's 14 degrees is all in the corner, so lots of drivers are going to be probably trying to fight and hang on here. They have 4 sets of tires, 70% fuel, probably going to be somewhere around 40 to 45 as far as a fuel run goes. Lights are out on the pace car. Tristan Bailey going to lead them on down.
As you mentioned, just 4 sets of tires. That's 1 set less than we're usually getting here at ECR, so some tire strategy might come into play here at the end of the race.
In that Geico restart zone, and we are off and away in the City Slicker 182.
Turn 1 already in the shadows as it's about 6:30 here in Nashville. The sun's going to be going down all race. We'll see how that speeds up the track, tightens up these cars.
Yeah, I think nighttime here at Nashville winds up making this track a little bit better than if it was in the day. It is mostly that concrete surface there that you kind of have to deal with.
'40 car of Doug Denise up in P2. Looks like we've got a handful of drivers with some fresh paint schemes this week. Sirius XM action there. I think that's an Arnold Palmer scheme there on Adam behind him. And 94, looking sharp.
Yeah, drives it in on that bottom side. See if he can hug that yellow line to get ready to go down the backstretch. Slides up in front, and he will clear. Kind of talking before the race, looked back at the history here in ECR, and it was pretty much dominated by Tyler Burden the last 2 times they came here to Nashville. Led the most laps both times and was able to bring home the victory. Both of those were 150 and 155 laps, so we'll see what he can do. Fastest man on the track is just behind him in that 18 Toyota, Michael Carter, with the 29.32 so far.
Yeah, they're kind of getting single filed out here at the front. They're 2 cars wide there with Furtick and Osborne battle for 6th place. They have been that way for about 2 laps. This might be a good time for us to really see what is the preferred line. With a track like Nashville, you can be surprised how that outside line can have an advantage because you can just hold that guy down. And with the low banking, when you're on the inside lane, you're kind of at the mercy of that guy on the outside to give you some space. But they don't have to.
No, they definitely don't. As you see, Burdick kind of squeeze Osborne down just a little bit, trying to intimidate that car and have the better drive off. And he usually gets the better drive off coming off of the corner, but Osborne hanging tough on the bottom side gets better drive into the corner.
Right behind them is Kane Lee. He had a really great run last week, gained 5 positions in the standings. Looking to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, talking about the standings are really, really tight, especially when you're talking team points. Team points, you have Aeons Motorsports that has 40 starts, and Southern Alliance Racing that only has 34. So Aeons is leading by 0.4 points in the team standings.
And if you're wondering how you can get a partial point, it's the team standings are an average of all team drivers, so you can get some decimal points there. Just a little bit of breathing room there for Aeons.
I mean, even right now on track, you have the top 2 in the points, Dwayne Furtick and John Osborne battling it as hard as they probably can right now. They're only separated by 1 point in the standings. Our race leader is back in third, 17 points behind the leader. So,
still a long season to go, but it always feels good to be in the points lead anytime you can.
looks like Bradley Rivers is going to work on the bottom side there of Kane Lee. If he's going to be able to get this pass complete. Bradley Rivers ran fairly well last week as well. Was up inside the top 5 for a little while.
Yeah, he gained 3 positions in the standings last week. A lot of movement. You mentioned how tight it was up front, but from 5th on back to 9th is only a 3-point gap. So everybody in that upper part of the top 10 could easily gain some positions with some good luck tonight.
Yeah, everybody's going to want to try and make some moves, especially when you see that we're heading to Iowa next week before the Easter holiday, and then come back and the schedule gets a little bit tougher.
As we've been watching, we saw Furtick get in front of Osborne, and Rivers not able to complete that pass there on the 38, and now he's got some attention from behind as well. Jonathan Cogswell looking on the outside.
It seems like running that bottom side, you just can't quite. I don't know if it maybe is the tire fall off or something, but it seems like as soon as if you can't get that pass completed, you wind up going the other way almost in a hurry here. As Cogswell gets by.
Like we said, really single filing out here. Tough to be pinned down on the inside or to be forced up high. Saw just a few cars getting loose on exit running that high line. That's certainly not where you want to be. This wall at Nashville can jump out and get you if you get loose on exit.
Yeah, these flat tracks on corner exit, it's almost like the wall comes out to grab you, but really it's just that banking is not there to help you drive off of the corner.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a lot of a New Hampshire, or even Richmond a little bit on the front straightaway. That's one that can you can get loose really easily as that banking disappears out of the turn exit, and you can get up there into the wall. As we're 3 wide here. Aaron Spear, Ryan McCall down low, Justin Henry up high. For a second, I thought they were going to bail on it, but they are holding.
Yeah, Ryan McCall is stuck on that bottom side, and he is not going anywhere. That rapid fire pizza machine doing fairly well, keeping that line. And Spear's going to clear Hendry and allow McCall to slide up.
A little friendly bump drafting there, too.
I don't know how friendly that was, but definitely,
Hey, it
definitely
helps us
wasn't
both
much room
if you
there.
let me bump you a little bit. It helps us both carry speed, so it seems friendly to me. You see them now catching the 47 car. Sam Boutwell looks to be, maybe he lost some speed there. These cars came up on him very quickly.
You're not seeing anything. Might have got a little loose, caught that outside wall. Wound up going the wrong way in a hurry, but now they're 3 wide again. Hendry in the middle, this time Spear on the bottom. Back up towards the front a little bit here too.
Burned up his tires a little bit. The 47 just does seem to be dropping.
He is way off the pace. Almost a half second compared to everybody else around him. Say Tyler Burden back up. Currently in second, +4. That's a 94 up there in third. No real pressure on the front side, but lots of battling going on towards the back here.
The 85 and 96 look like they made just a little bit of contact. Fighting over some real estate there on entry. Oh, just keeping it off of him.
Single file back out just a little bit. Like Kent Mueller trying to close in. Ooh, the 95 right on the back of Aaron Spear.
Like I said, that all looks friendly to me. If it helps us keep going, they can turn unfriendly real quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for it to turn unfriendly if you get a little bit of momentum taken away there. Grego Jr. trying to close in on Boutwell. Christopher Roth into that outside wall touch.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything friendly about tapping the wall. A little bit of a warning. Hey, next lap, you're going to want to turn down a little harder on exit. So you see the 25 of Andrew Chapman getting under him now. We saw that Chapman and Carnathan, I believe they didn't qualify, started in the rear. They have not really gone anywhere. not making up a ton of positions or anything here. Getting a little antsy here, though, in this pack in the back.
I'm just looking through to see if there was any reason why they wouldn't, why he didn't qualify, but I'm not seeing anything for sure sticking out here. But he's up 5 spots running P20 now. Little battle up here brewing is Kane Lee, Bollinger, and Rivers are all within shouting distance of each other again.
Oh, you can see all 4 of those cars with very different braking points. Kind of an accordion effect, bringing them all together, and then they spread back out as they get to exit. Looks like Rivers can really get in there a lot harder than Lee.
Yeah, it looks like Lee's running a little lighter there. It looked like Aaron Miller got into that outside wall coming off of turn 4 again as well.
That's what I saw.
Yeah,
You know, we're past halfway on this fuel run.
Yeah,
And you can tell the tires are starting to leave, and we see more and more cars smacking the wall.
yeah, that 53 Toyota has been one of the faster cars we've had all season. Last week he missed the race, so that sent him down in the points about, I think, 7 spots if I recall correctly. So he's looking to make up some ground here tonight, running P9 up 7 spots from where he started, and that's Colin Bollinger.
Yeah, I think it was 7 positions over the last 2 races. He was leading the points before that. Up at the front, it looks like Tyler Bird is really eating into Bailey's lead now, just 0.2 of a second. They're gapping 3rd place.
It looks like everybody is spread out quite a bit on this front end.
Yeah, when we look at this race, if we, assume it's going to go green flag, we've been pretty safe so far. I think, as you mentioned, the pit window is going to be about 45 laps, somewhere in there, which means you're going to be right on being able to make this a 2-stop race, and you might need to save a little along the way to make that happen. But be curious to see if anybody, just says, hey, I don't feel like saving fuel, I want to be on the offense, and goes for a 3-stop strategy. I think if you're doing that, you're going to be doing that around, somewhere between here and lap 40.
I mean, looking right now, so the fastest lap for the leader, Tristan Bailey, was a 29.26. This last time by, he went a 30.27, so about a second in 34 laps. So I don't know that it would be hard for me to say I don't want to at least try to make a 2-stop race because of the time that, you're not gaining much time from what it looks like on lap times here.
Yeah, I think I don't have an argument for that. The only chance it might work out is if you think, hey, maybe I'll take a gamble. I'm not going to win the race any other way, and hope for a caution at just the right time to help you out. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of tire fall off in speed. Just seeing those guys getting into the wall a lot more here at the back end of the run.
You're seeing like everybody's pretty spread out. Go back up front because this looks like it's going to heat up for a battle for the lead here momentarily.
Burden been racing in Bailey's shadow for the last few laps. Could be one of those things where now that he's in the dirty air, he just doesn't quite have enough to get all the way to his bumper or get around him. Might see him try some different lines, get some clean air on the nose. Looks like he's about a lane higher on entry, and then Bailey slides up, kind of takes that away from him on the exit.
Yeah, inside, outside, trying to find a way around, but now it looks like Bailey's starting to pull away just a little bit. Go back into the field, take a look at the 88 of Gary Nash. Closing in on Kane Lee.
Yeah, I really like that Caterpillar National Guard mashup paint scheme. White and black and red, looking good. As always, you've got Kane Lee there in front of him running that McLaren papaya scheme. I think those guys were pretty disappointed that Verstappen was able to snag the pole this weekend. See what they can do in the race.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard somebody come on the radio saying they're coming down pit lane. So
yeah, Dwayne Furtick, and almost didn't make it. You know, pre-race there was a lot of radio chatter between the drivers about how tricky this pit road is. They were heavily suggesting that you call out when you're pitting on green flag just so nobody runs into you. Definitely a tricky pit entry. Oh, as Burton gets around Bailey, who got into the wall pretty hard. One of the hardest hits we've seen all night.
let's go back and take a look real quick at that pass for the lead.
He changed up his line, like he was hugging that low line and forcing Burden to go high, but I'm not sure if he had much practice running that higher line, and it just got tight on him.
Yeah, it looked like it kind of got tight. It looked like Burden kind of helped tighten that track up a little bit as he went to that outside wall. But still running fairly well here. Lots of race left.
Yeah, so Furtick, the first and only car to have hit pit road so far. And that puts him back in 25th, one lap down. I think our leader is going to be pitting this time. We'll see if Bailey decides to come with him. Looks like no, he's going to give him room and take that lead right back. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it is one of the more difficult pit lanes to get onto, especially if you're not using that access road.
Well, I heard some of the drivers, like I said, pre-race, there was a lot of conversation about pit road entry, and they were mentioning that the access road is actually a penalty if you do use it, so not to do it. Oh, as Bailey tags the wall one more time.
From the looks of the way everybody's running here, I'm going to say that it's going to be more of about a tire issue more so than a fuel issue.
Yeah, but like we were saying, anyone who's pitted already, which would be Burden, Furtick, looks like Rivers, I don't think this lets them make it to the end. I think you need to make it to this lap 46, to have a shot at getting to 137 on 2 stops.
Yeah, you have to at least make it that far. I mean, maybe they came down, maybe they overdrove their tires a few laps, and the second stint they're going to drive a little more cautiously and try and extend that run a little bit to get back on strategy with everybody else.
Now Michael Carter is taking the lead. The 81 of John Osborne behind him. I think the 18's coming, looking low. He's probably going to come to pit road this time by. The 81 inherits the lead. And the radio is on fire with drivers calling out that they are coming to pit road. So we might have seen lap 48, 49 going to be the longest guys are able to go on fuel.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. Assume Osborne's going to come down this next time.
Great shot here. You can see how the sun is now pretty much all the way down the whole track in shadow. I think that should save a little bit of that tire wear on this next run.
You can just hear it just sliding up the track.
Here he comes. A nice and smooth entry for Osborne. It's now Doug Denise, and that Sirius XM40 is in the lead. He's able to make it to lap 50. He might be showing us what's possible if you were saving fuel.
I'd assume we're going to see all these drivers come down this time. There's no real reason to go any further than this at the moment. Like he's coming in. Kane Lee gets a little hot.
Oh, as Mueller goes around. It's okay. He's gonna. Sorry, he's gonna lose some time, but hey, it's better than hitting any other cars or any walls.
Let's cycle the 06 back to the lead.
Looks like he built a little bit of a gap back to Bailey there, 1.7 seconds. Man, that 11 car looks loose in front of him. Making me nervous.
Up here, yeah. I think he tried to take a little bit of evasive actions there to get around as fast as he could. Dwayne Furtick, first driver down pit lane. Cycled out. Came out third place, up 4 spots.
I was just going to say, if you're wondering why that 11 car was kind of so far back and in front of the leader there, it looks like he was our lone penalty. It looked like an unsafe pit entry. Got the grass a little bit coming in and had to stay in his pit box a little longer to clear that one. As-
Kim Mueller didn't get one there, but
Yeah, I think luckily he spun, short of the pit commitment cone and everything, so he didn't mess it up too bad. Yeah, that's Matthew Crego Jr. now running in 25th after serving that penalty.
well, with that, we'll step aside after that green flag pit cycle and go side by side. You won't miss anything. We'll be right back here on Sim Racing Media. Welcome back, everybody. You didn't miss anything while we were away. Lots of single file racing action going on the track. Go through our top 10 right now. Tyler Burton, Kristen Bailey, Dwayne Furtick are the top three after the pit cycle. Closing in, though, is going to be that 94 Toyota of Adam Boughton in fourth. Michael Carter, fifth. Osborne back there in sixth. Bradley Rivers just behind him. Jonathan Cogswell. And you have Colin Bollinger and Doug Denise battling it out for ninth position here on the track.
Yeah, I think the story here is going to be the difference in tires. You know, we didn't see a huge bit of fall off, but Dwayne Furtick was that first car to come in, and he's got a 7-lap older tires to the 94 who just got around him, as well as to Michael Carter running in fifth place behind him. So we might see Furtick drop back a little bit with just those slightly older tires. And then the rest of the field's kind of a hodgepodge. Everybody really within that 6 to 7 lap window, 43 laps to 50 laps on that first run.
Yeah, the 40 here. Doug Denise here worked his way around the track, came down on lap 50, so he's got the freshest tires. And if he should have the freshest tires at the end of the race, because he's probably going to try and stay out close to that 100 lap mark. Everybody else is going to have to come down probably around lap 90, 95.
Yeah, I think if you can make it to lap 92 or so, that sets you up to be pretty comfortable to make it the rest of the way with just that one stop. But if you've got to come before lap 90, I think you're in trouble. Or you're going to have to do some real aggressive fuel saving on that last run, and I'm not sure how that can pay off for you in terms of gaining positions.
Yeah, I think if you came down like Dwayne Furtick did here on lap 39, I think this is the stint you try and hope that you can save enough tires and just stay out long enough to make it to that 92, 93 lap mark. I mean, he's going to be right at 51, 52 laps to make it to where you should feel comfortable. So it might be a tough ask. Otherwise, he should be coming down in about 10 laps.
You see Carter now working underneath of him. Yeah, I kind of have the feeling Furtick is not putting up too much of a fight, making sure to take care of his car and his tires. You know, we saw a lot of guys getting side by side and kind of being stuck there for many laps at a time earlier in the race, but Carter getting right around Furtick is now Bollinger is looking underneath Cogswell. Going to clear him on exit. And 84 though, looking inside. Ooh, gonna have to lift there to stay out of the 53. It's now Colin looking under Bradley Rivers in the 15.
Yeah, Rivers is another one of those drivers that came down a little bit earlier than everybody else. Came down on lap 43, so running a little bit older tires.
Yeah, it looks like the 53 of Bollinger, the 15 of Rivers, and the 40 of Doug Denise are the ones that are really making use of that fresher tires here on track. I think Kane Lee is also on the same lap as them, and Camp Mueller, although he's still recovering from that spin. Meanwhile, those two drivers we mentioned who missed qualifying or skipped it and started in the back, Carnathan and Chapman, they're now up 7 and 8 positions. Still not really breaking into the top 10, but they are making up ground from where they started.
And we got Carnathan trying to get past Ludi, and you have a whole bunch of cars in front of them. This is the closest pack on track. Ludi going to go to the inside of Miller.
As we see again, it's just so hard to maintain your speed on turn exit when you're down on that bottom line. You can't come up to the wall. See that rapid fire pizza number 24 taking a peek down low once again. Oh, both of those cars getting in the wall in the 95 and the 85.
I think it's about when we wound up seeing it start to happen last time as well. You know, about that 30-ish mark, 30th lap mark, where they started to lose the handle on exit.
Ooh, all three of them that time. I mean, I feel like that's one of those times where when you're working on a guy's bumper from behind there and you're kind of matching his speed and then trying to go 1% deeper into the corner, 1% earlier into the throttle so you can make that pass. And if he's heading into the wall and you're doing, 1% more, you're going in the wall too.
Nathan trying to go down to the inside. They hit it coming out. Nope. All good there. Looks like most of it is off of turn 4.
Yeah, that one does seem to be the one that leans out and gets you.
Back up towards the front here. Osborne making the pass down on the inside for P4.
Osborne continuing to grab spots with those. I mean, it's only 3 or 4 laps fresher tires, but he's sure making them work for him.
And he just, it's almost like he saved his tires for the end of this run, because he is 0.3 faster that last time by than the race leader was.
Yeah, I think the only car I can see that's faster than him was, well, no, that lap he was the fastest. Kane Lee was also turning some fast laps, but right there, he was on the move.
Right now he has a ton of ground he has to make up somehow, as Tristan Bailey is the next car in front of him, and he is 5.5 seconds in front of him.
And a little bit of clean air certainly doesn't hurt. Burden and Bailey are back together again. Doesn't look like Bailey's pit stop was any longer than usual, so must not have gotten any damage in the wall in that first run as he gets right around Burden there. Again, I kind of feel like everybody got over the side-by-side racing at the start and is kind of playing it smart here and saying, hey, if you're looking inside, just take it. And we can both save our tires and try to stay ahead of those other cars that are making their way up through the field towards us.
Yeah, definitely seemed like they decided to settle down a little bit, just maintain pace and try and get away. Back towards the front. I think Osborne, after he got that clean air, has been able to make a little bit of ground. He does have the 47 of Sam Batwell in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, he got a half a second the lap before, a half a second that lap. He is on the move. This is now just over 4 seconds behind Burden.
Yeah, just trying to do anything he can to make up some ground. But Tyler Burden is losing ground to Tristan Bailey. Tristan Bailey passed him and went out to almost 3/4 of a second already here. Dwayne Furtick, first one down pit lane once again, lap 87, so a little bit short now than he probably needed to be. We'll see if he's going to hope for a caution to reset the field.
Looks like Furtick is on pit road. Again, either he is going to have a real slow pace, fuel-saving third stint, or he's got some trick up his sleeve on strategy that I don't know about.
I think the only thing that's really that might save him is if we get a quick caution or something to that effect. He's going to have to get by Pete Walsh though first, I do believe. Oh, he's got a few he's got to get by to be the first one a lap down, or he's going to have to take the wave around.
Yeah, he made it 39 laps on his first stint and then 47 laps there, but you know, we've got 48 to go, so he's going to have to find a couple laps to make it from here.
38 of Kane Lee down pit lane.
Now Lee actually kind of doing the opposite. Went 50 laps his first stint, just 49 or just 39 on the second one. So everybody kind of maybe experimenting to see how can I gain some ground by undercutting or just trying to take advantage of this situation somehow to gain some track position if this stays green.
Yeah, I think everybody's planning on it staying green and not getting one of those rapid fire pizza caution flags, but it's gonna be rough. The 06 coming down this time by. Looks like the 9 is probably. Oh, nope. I thought he was slowing down enough to come down, but he thought better of it there.
Yeah, he's on lap 47 of this run. Maybe he saw what Osborne was able to do by going long and having those fresh tires at the end of the run, and he's thinking, I want to be in that position. Here he comes now. Osborne now in the lead. Announcing he's coming this time by. Chapman in as well.
Turns the lead over to Bollinger. Doug Denise back there as well. 49 and 50 the last time they came down respectively.
Yeah, and this is that dangerous time of the pit cycle. About half the cars have come down pit road, half are still on the track. If a caution were to come out, it would trap a handful of drivers a lap down, setting them in a bad position in terms of they probably have to stay out to get a wave around and then be on older tires than everybody in the top 10. So if you're one of those guys, you're hoping, hey, come on, come to pit road. Let's reset. Let's all get on the same page so we don't have to worry about it.
Looking through here, Kristen Bailey's out 2.5, almost 3 seconds before this battle for third. Like Doug Denise is coming down, so that left 3 out on the racetrack. Ross, Spear, and Mueller.
Yes. Interesting there is, we saw Bailey actually wait to pit and still came out pretty far in front of Burden. He must have had just a rock star pit entry and pit exit.
Pit lane time, 0.3 of a second is all the difference was. So
yeah, I think, like I said, I'm not sure if that stat includes kind of like how fast you're coming through turns 4 right before you mash the brakes.
Nah, it has to.
That seems like the place where you can really gain.
Yeah, I'd assume it'd be from yellow to blue is all. So.
Burden is about a 10th faster than him the last couple laps, so they could end up back together here as Furtick is losing a little bit of ground to the 06, but not too much. And Osborne back behind them on fresher tires than everyone in front of him, so he's going to be looking to move forward.
Yeah, just looking through the field right now. Looks like Aaron Spear. Yeah, so they will go a lap down. Christopher Roth will also go a lap down, so 17 left on the lead lap.
Burden now down to just a 2-second gap to Bailey. Furtick 0.8 behind him.
Well, with that, second round of green flag pit stops, we'll take our second and final commercial break. Won't miss anything. We'll go side by side, and when we come back, we'll bring you the conclusion of the City Slicker 182 from Nashville. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the City Slicker 182. 25 laps left to go here in this one. Tristan Bailey leads Tyler Burton. Dwayne Furtick, though, on that opposite strategy, is going the wrong way in a hurry. Has got to be hoping for maybe a caution here to help bring that 51 Chevy back into the fold here.
Yeah, he's going to have to go 51, 52 laps on this tank to stay out, and I'm worried he realized that too late in the run. You know, he was really battling up there in the top 3 for a while, not saving fuel, and now I think he's realized he's got to save a load of it to be able to make it without stopping. Otherwise, that gap between first and second really hasn't changed all that much. It's kind of gone up and down between 2 seconds and 1.6 seconds, but kind of leveling off right now. I have the feeling Bailey was saving tires, kind of letting Burden use his stuff up to start catching him, and then once he got too close for comfort, he said, I'm ready to go.
And Osborne sitting back here has run a pretty good strategy as far as race goes. He's got to be hoping that, he had to have been hoping that he'd have a little bit better run in that second stint, as he was just picking them up left and right. But now he's got about the same amount of tire wear as the top 2, and the lap times are almost identical.
Yeah, even on the laps he's gaining, he's not gaining enough to get there before this thing is over. 94 of Boughton behind him, under pressure from Michael Carter. All of these guys just having a great race. We've seen a lot of the same names kind of in the top 5 all day with no cautions to shake it up.
Yeah, these guys are putting on a heck of a race. I mean, we've seen a few different drivers up front here and there, but for the most part, it's been Bailey and Burden up there just duking it out for the lead of the race.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat my own words. I really underestimated the ability of these guys here at ECR. I was kind of assuming with such little banking they'd be leaning on each other, but really professional racing all night long. Barely any contact between cars, other than some of that friendly bump drafting we saw earlier.
Yeah, I think the most of the contact has been out of turn 4 there with that outside wall.
As we see him going 3 wide, Rivers and Lee doing a little door banging there, and Bollinger ready to take advantage as he gets the 2 for 1. Clears them both. Really impressive move there.
Yeah, had about 7 lap fresher tires than Kane Lee did. Kane Lee is another one of the drivers that came down early, came down before that 90 lap mark. So we'll have to see what his strategy is here towards the end of this race. I mean, right now he's still up a couple positions from where he started, but could fade closer to the end of this race. Canely and Rivers trying to get by Boutwell here.
Michael Carter now up to 4th in front of the 94. And just I say that, 94 dives back underneath him, takes it back. It's kind of a weird loss of speed there for the 18.
Yeah, I don't know, that was almost like the 18 was standing still as fast as Fountain was able to get by him.
As So we have 15 laps to go. City Slicker 182 is just flying by with all this green flag racing.
I was thinking this race was going to tighten up here towards the end, but they are just flying through here. Looks like
I think
Hanley's going to wind up getting pushed up the track. Bradley Rivers going to try and take advantage.
Yeah, I think Bailey does seem to be pulling away, but it looks like we're going to have a last couple lap battle there for P2 as Osborne has been gaining on Burden lap after lap. Now under 2.5 seconds. You can watch that gap just drop as Osborne gets in a lot deeper on turn entry. Yeah, half a second almost that last lap. So you can see Burden just up there ahead of him in the back of that next pack.
Let's go up and take a look at how Burden's driving compared to Osborne here.
You also got to wonder, maybe these lap cars are slowing him down. Mueller still trying to recover from that getting sideways on pit entry.
It looks like these lap cars are slowing the 06 down.
Yeah, he looks really tight on exit. I think that's a sign that your tires are just more worn than you'd like them to be. I'm sure he was using them up trying to catch Tristan earlier in this run. So we see Cogswell in the 84. Going under the 90 of Ryan McCall.
Checking back here with the 51 of Dwayne Furtick. Running P8 right now. See if he can get these 10 laps in here.
I mean, he sure looks like he's saving. I think he'd be really prefer for a caution to come out or something to give him a chance to get back up there with the leaders, but stay green, and I don't think it's going to happen here tonight.
No, these guys definitely put on pretty good show here.
Carter and Boughton still battling it out.
Revolution Motorsports teammates going back and forth, so I'm sure they're trying to do something, anything to get up there to the top two, but
Osborne now less than half a second behind Tyler Burden with just this lap car 96 in between them. Aaron Spear, I mean, he was up there battling with the leaders at one point. I wonder what happened to the 96 car and back here. Could have just been the way the pit strategy played out.
looks like he stayed out to lap 99, so he's got the freshest tires. He just hasn't been able to put them to use here. With 6 laps to go, it's going to be a all-out scramble here for P2. You know Tyler Burden there knows the 81's back there.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be fun, right? He's coming with fresher tires. You're pushing hard. You're clipping the wall. And every lap, every turn, those red, white, and blue bumper is coming right up to you. You just see how much lower Osborne can get on exit and just stay in the gas. So much momentum as he's going to look inside. There's still 5 laps to go, but why wait? It's time to go.
Osborne trying to get by, so he might have a chance, a slim chance, but a chance to try and chase down Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, the 81 just powers by. I think the 06 was hoping to get down there and pinch him and get a little side draft on turn exit. And by the time he got there, the 81 was already clear and going forward. Three laps to go. It's a 5-second gap up to first place. Saw Tristan get in the wall a couple times battling with Burden earlier, and just a great recovery from that. Not really picking up any significant damage, and then beating him out of the pits like we said. He really must have just had a great entry, real aggressive, but didn't get a penalty or speed or anything and gained some time.
Got 2 laps to go here in the City Slicker 182. Bailey pretty much just driving away from the field. Picking on Furtick here. Looks like he's still running all right. Maybe he saved enough, but final lap down the backstretch for the final time for Tristan Bailey.
It's a nice, comfortable exit off turn 4. Coming to the checkered flag. Bailey does it again in that rapid fire pizza number 9 car. Osborne comes across second, holding off Tyler Burden to round out the podium. Boughton and Carter fought all the way to the finish there.
Furtick finishes the race inside the top 10.
He might have had just enough. It looks like he's coasting down on the apron. Yeah, I believe that thing is done.
Yeah, it looks like it's out of fuel. So just enough there. But Bailey wins the race.
Picking up his second win of the season. The other one coming at Darlington. Look at that, even dialed in enough brake bias to do that standing still burnout.
All right, let's see. Get these drivers in here. If we can get Tyler up here in the booth. All right, I believe you're with Tyler.
Tyler, this is Shane and Mike in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
How about that? I mean, no cautions. I think we only saw one black flag the whole race. And you're battling in the top the whole time, defending champ here at Nashville, but weren't quite able to get it done. It looked like maybe Bailey somehow got out of the pits ahead of you and some other guys and was able to make it work there at the end. Tell us about it.
Well, so with that whole situation, I had set the whole. Hold on, I've got something playing on my phone. I didn't know I had playing. So I had planned on there being a few cautions, which, of course, never goes to plan. So this was, of course, the race that everyone decides we're going to go green to checkered. So I had to throw it into overdrive for the second run and try and run a little bit longer to make sure I could make it to the end. But man, I tell you what, I could have been closer to Tristan, but for some reason I thought it was going to be a good idea to let some lap cars go by. I gave them the bottom, and they struggled for 7 laps to even try and pass me. So I got a little frustrated and allowed John to get up to me. But overall, I'll take a 3rd place. It's a little unfortunate. I really wanted to try and get the 3 sweep, but you know, it just wasn't meant to be. But I'll take a 3rd. It's still a good points day and some laps led.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with being on the podium. Congratulations on that. Who you want to send some shout outs and thanks to?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Humanities 101. If everyone can go check that out, humanities101.com. It's a great foundation. If you can donate. Get a fidget or some fidget toys, or if possible, there are ways. If you've got a school that's important to you, a workplace that could use some more information about disabilities and people with neurodivergence, try and get in contact with Dr. Dutch at Humanities. All the Eon guys, of course, because we were all trying something a little different there, and yeah, I really think what everyone tried out kind of worked out for everyone. So that's pretty much all I got.
All right. Well, congrats again on finishing P3. Sorry you weren't able to get the hat trick and do the 3-peat, but we wish you luck and good luck next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right. John, options first. Hey, John, Mike, in the booth, man. How's it going?
Hey, Mike, how you doing tonight, buddy?
No, not too bad. Well, that was a heck of a run. Looks like that second run, you kind of had it mapped out about perfect. You were one of the only drivers making your way through the field. How was it racing out there at Nashville?
Yeah, I really like this track a lot. I don't know, something about concrete. It just fits me, and it's pretty line specific. There was only one groove tonight, and it was on the bottom. With track temp being as low as it was, with everybody trying to run the bottom, it was going to kick all the marbles up high. So there just wasn't going to be a ton of grip up there. What really hurt me was the 51 just racing outside me at the beginning of the race there, and just pinning me down. And I was like, man, he's going to stay out there a little bit, and he'll eventually burn his tires up. And then eventually I was just like, yeah, I don't want to burn my tires up, so I just let him by. But I lost so much time, to the front 3, that I just couldn't make it up, and us staying green. I tried, my strategy was like, well, I'll run a little bit longer. I ran real long on that first stop, and I know I had good pace. I had to have been the fastest car toward the tail end of that run before the pit stops happened. But there was just too big of a gap. Like, him pinching me down that many laps just really, really hurt me. And I get why he did it. I just wish he would have, maybe backed off a little bit. But it is what it is. It was a great night. Tristan was really fast. I was helping him in practice, and I think I helped him a little bit too much. But to have teammates finish 1, 2, 3, that's why we're all out there doing burnouts. But yeah, it was a really good night. I needed one of those after Texas a couple of weeks ago. And I had a really good car that night too. Unfortunately, just hit that little patch of grass, and around she went, and that was all she said. So, but yeah, it was a good night. Very happy.
Definitely was. Well, looking at the race results, you should be leading the points now as we head into Iowa. So with that, anybody you want to thank before we get you out
Oh,
of here tonight?
by far, thank you and Shane up here in the booth. Appreciate what you guys do week in and week out, broadcasting for us. I don't think I've made it up here and talked to you guys yet this season, so I've been very consistent. Just haven't, gotten up here. So thank you all in the booth. Thank Adam for putting on such a fun league with the ECR. This is I think my third season in ECR, third or fourth. I think it's my third. So it's I have a lot of fun in here. Thank my team, Eons Motorsports. We do a really good job week in and week out of working well with each other. Figuring out what setups work, what brake bias, what master cylinders, and what pinion to run. And so I think we have a real good thing going on at Eons, and I really appreciate them. And then last but not least, want to thank my dear mom and dad. They are faithful watchers every race. And I'm sure they're laying in the bed right now watching on their TV in their bedroom. So love you, Mom and Dad. We're one spot short tonight, but I can't complain too much.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and we'll see what you can do at Iowa.
All right, buddy. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all.
All right, we'll get the race winner in the booth.
Briston, you got Shane and Mike in the booth. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah, man. We saw you start on the pole. You lead 89 laps on the day. I think the only mistake we saw you slap the wall a few times there, battling with Tyler in the middle of the race. Tell us a little bit about that battle, and then how did you make it out of the pit so far ahead of him at the end to pull off the victory?
I got tight whenever he went underneath me in 3 and 4 there, and I think if I wouldn't have been there, he wouldn't have hit me. But I was gonna hit the wall either way, so I had to let out the gas. But I don't really know how I gapped him so big on pit road. I don't know if it was just got on the pit road better or he got off pit road worse than me. I don't know. I just know that I started saving my tires as soon as that last pit stop happened because I was kind of worried about John. I was like, he had a way better long run car. But I kind of saved at the beginning of the run, and I was matching him lap time for lap time at the end there. So I think I fixed that because the first run, I kind of blew the right front off. Second run, I did a little bit better, but the right front got worse. So I was like, okay, well, this last run, here, hopefully I can make it on fuel. And I did. And the right front was better that run, but I don't know how that happened, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah, we were watching John come up through the field too, and we could kind of tell there with a few laps to go he wasn't quite going to make it, and it was your race. But it was also a surprisingly clean race. I'll have to admit, pre-race I was thinking guys would be leaning on each other a little bit more, but we went caution free. And how do you think that came about?
I don't know. I'm kind of glad. This league has actually seemed like it produced a lot less cautions from another league I was running in, which seems to have a lot of cautions, which I'm glad they don't have a lot in here no more because it actually gives you a chance to have to save tire and see who can save it the best at some tracks. I was expecting the tires to wear a lot more, but they didn't for some reason here. Last time I ran here, the right front just got obliterated, but it didn't seem like it was that bad this race.
Yeah, the tire fall off was not, very big as we were watching lap times and things. So you're right on about that. But yeah, congratulations again on the win. Who you got some thanks and shout outs for?
All Eon's team, as in Motorsports and Motor Club there. We all kind of helped each other in practice there. Gotta thank John out. I'm pretty sure he's probably won't tell me nothing no more after that, but I have to thank John for helping me out setup wise in practice. So, and shout out to Brad Rivers for finishing 8th there, and Stan for gaining 10 positions on track after not qualifying.
Yeah, good day for all those guys, especially from where the stand started. We were kind of curious why those guys, or a couple guys, weren't able to qualify, but came up through the field. And you're right. We were talking to John, and he said he was helping you out, and maybe helped you out a little bit too much. But that's what teammates are for. Congratulations again, and we'll see you out there next week.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, let's go through the race results real quick here for the City Slicker 182. Tristan Bailey, John Osborne, and Tyler Burton are the top 3. Adam Boughton, Michael Carter, Doug Denise, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Colin Bollinger, Bradley Rivers, Dwayne Furtick, and Kane Lee round out that top 10. Ryan McCall, Jonathan Cogswell, Anthony Ludi, Stan Carnathan, Gary Nash, the top 15. Aaron Miller, Justin Hendry, Kent Mueller, Christopher Roth, and Aaron Spear, all their top 20. Robert Ross, Sam Batwell, Pete Walsh, Andrew Chapman, and Matthew Crago Jr. round out the field here from ECR. But with that, saw a lot of good racing here tonight. Hopefully they can keep it up when we head to Iowa next week before the week off for the Easter holiday. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Shane?
No, just want to, say again, I really underestimated the skill of these guys out here tonight. Not a single caution, just really impressive. And it wasn't like, they weren't anywhere near each other. They were door banging and getting into the wall. The tires are wearing out. Just a fun race to watch. And yeah, we kind of had it all other than cautions.
Yeah, the only thing it didn't have was the caution flag to throw everybody's strategy out the window. But lots of green flag racing. Look forward to seeing what these guys can do at Iowa next week. But from all the drivers of the ECR Next Gen League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night. We'll see you next week.